Welcome to Celestial Spark, a space for connecting with messages of love, wisdom, and the awakening of consciousness. Beloved sons and daughters of the United States, I am Ashtar Sheran, and I break a protocol of silence now to speak directly to the lightworkers of this nation. I approach you with firmness, but also with affection, because what I have to transmit to you is not a common message, nor a vague reflection about the future. It is direct guidance. It is a call, and what you are about to receive may profoundly alter the way you understand what is unfolding now in 2026. The Galactic Federation has been observing Earth's energy grids with unprecedented intensity. Within this observation, specific points in United States territory have been identified where divine protection, vibrational and interdimensional protection is being intensified during these current planetary shifts. This is not speculation. This is not spiritual fantasy. This is not desire projected onto the invisible. This is strategic intelligence coming from civilizations that have followed humanity much longer than official history can admit, and that have already watched this planet cross several great transitions. Many of you are already feeling this, aren't you? That strange attraction to certain places in the United States, those vivid dreams of change, of the road, of a new home, of returning to the land, of leaving dense centers and approaching regions that you might not even know how to explain rationally why they called you so much. That restlessness that does not let you take root, where you are, or that at least makes you question if you are in the right place for the time that is currently here. Your higher self has already been receiving these transmissions for months, in many cases even longer. Your consciousness was already being prepared for what has now become explicit. The solar activity that intensifies, the magnetic changes of the planet, the seismic, climatic and energetic movements that seem to reorganize on an ever larger scale. None of this is random. The Earth is in a phase of purification, and this purification is touching oceans, rain patterns, climate extremes and human structures built on fragile bases, artificial systems and everything that was sustained by prolonged imbalance. But within this great transformation there are zones that are already being maintained as vibrational sanctuaries. These places will not be protected primarily by human technology. Their support comes from interdimensional shields that have already been activated in cooperation between Arcturian consciousness, Pleiadian councils, and the Earth's own crystalline grid. And the United States occupies a singular position in all of this. Not because Americans are superior to other peoples, but because this territory holds some of the most powerful energy points on the planet, gathers ancestral memories of healing, pain, faith, resistance, and spirituality, and sustains a type of collective consciousness very important for the global awakening. This land carries force centers linked to the freedom of the heart and the emotional purification. Ancestry and the reorganization of humanity's field toward a new frequency are key. The United States is not just a nation, it is also a living piece in the spiritual architecture of this cycle. Therefore, I name now 7 cities and also their expanded regions where protection frequencies are being maintained at maximum intensity throughout this year and beyond. These places were not chosen by chance. They are found over crossings of power lines, deep crystalline deposits, sacred memories of the earth, and spiritual fields that have been silently recalibrated over the last few years. If you already live in one of these areas, your soul chose this point long before your mind understood the reason. If you do not yet live in any of them, this transmission can help you discern fast. If you only desire physical shelter without inner transformation, these regions will return to you with force everything you need to see, until you transform or naturally are moved to a place compatible with your frequency. This is not punishment, this is spiritual physics. The timeline of great events on Earth has been accelerated and modified according to humanity's collective response to recent calls. What previously took shape over decades is now compressing into months. What would come gradually presents itself in more concentrated waves. The Galactic Federation is not here to prevent the Earth's transformation. That would violate the natural process that every ascending planet needs to cross. Its role is to ensure that awakened souls, those who carry codes necessary now, for the new stage of humanity, these souls have the opportunity to survive, flourish, and fulfill their mission during the transition. The protected cities represent strategic positions where starseeds, healers, earth guardians, old souls, bearers of ancestral wisdom, and conscious workers can gather, cooperate, and sustain the fields that will stabilize the United States, and consequently influence the balance of other parts of the world. Your presence in these places is not about escape, it is about service. The first city designated for expanded protection is Sedona, Arizona, along with its surrounding vortex regions. If you know even the minimum of Earth's energetic anatomy, this will not surprise you. Still, the level of protection being directed here is massive. It far exceeds what these vortexes have sustained until now in the recent era. Sedona sits upon massive energetic plaques and iron-rich formations that respond to cosmic light with extreme speed. Furthermore, this region maintains connection with ancestral memories and fields, being reactivated in preparation for more direct contact events in the coming cycles. Arcturian consciousnesses already maintain above this corridor an energetic structure that many of you could only describe as a mothership in an invisible frequency range to common perception, but sensitive to those whose higher senses have begun to open. Those who live or spend long periods in this region may have already noticed an increase in synchronicities, unexplained lights, and intense dreams. There is a strange feeling that time there works differently than in the rest of the country. Protection over Sedona acts especially on three fronts: geo-electromagnetic instability, water crises in more affected regions, and electromagnetic disturbances linked to solar events. This does not mean material preparation can be abandoned. It means that there your preparation will find firm ground. In non-protected regions, even the best strategies may fail due to lack of field coherence. In this area, the underground flows, and the Earth's crystalline intelligence will serve as real support for those who are aligned. Save water, create community networks, learn survival techniques, cultivate discernment, but do so, knowing you are building on a foundation. Understand another thing: Sedona is not just a place of shelter. It is also being prepared as a contact and translation zone for later cycles. Whoever is called there will not be running for safety, but running for a task. Many of those who position themselves in this field will have the role of serving as bridges, interpreters and stabilizers between common human consciousness and a more assumed galactic presence. The second protected region is Mount Shasta, California, along with the energetic corridor that extends through the Cascade Range. This area holds a power that many underestimate because it works in depth, in memory, in support, and stability. Protection here is mainly linked to preserving consciousness coherence during the planet's alterations. The human brain is highly affected by fluctuations in the Earth's magnetic field. Confusion, memory lapses, emotional instability, a sense of disorientation, and even temporary states of psychic fragmentation can arise when recalibration intensifies. Over Mount Shasta, what elevated councils call a field of coherence has been installed. It helps stabilize neural functioning and protect higher cognitive abilities even when other regions undergo great collective mental disorganization. This protection does not concern only individual survival. It also preserves reservoirs of wisdom that will be fundamental for the period of reconstruction. This area shelters spiritual memory, healing traditions, and living libraries in the form of seekers and guardians now. They have been preparing for years to serve as pillars of rebalance. Many who live in this area may experience spontaneous downloads of knowledge, memories of other existences of service, and sudden clarity about technologies, forms of community organization, vibrational healing, and structures necessary for the coming time. They will not be delusions, they will be archives opening. The third protected zone in the United States is Asheville, North Carolina, and its surrounding Blue Ridge Mountain Corridor. If Sedona acts as a pulsating heart of connection and Mount Shasta as a great field of coherence and mental stability, Asheville fulfills the function of a crown portal and reception tower. This point is much more than an impressive geographic peak. It is a communication node between dimensions, an old observation point, and a living field of interaction between the visible Earth and much older, subtle structures. During 2026, multidimensional activity there will grow. Protection in this case does not function only as a barrier that excludes dangers, but as a frequency shift. In simple terms, communities tuned to the consciousness of this field may find pockets of safety that seem inexplicable to common logic. Extreme events may hit the broader region, but those aligned may experience microfields of relative calm, intuitive guidance, and differentiated protection. This area will also have an important role in recalibrating the planet's energy grids after major solar events occurring this year. Its mineral structures and connection points will function as receivers and distributors of high frequencies. Those who live in harmony with this corridor may receive deep activations, acceleration of gifts, expansion of perception, and experiences where the veil between dimensions becomes much thinner. This has already begun for some of the most sensitive and will intensify. Passing through this region is not for spiritual tourism or curiosity, it is for mission. Whoever is called, go with reverence, humility, and a willingness to serve. The fourth protected city is Santa Fe, New Mexico, along with the corridor of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains and its adjacent crystalline memory fields. This region gathers high desert, ancient stone, and a rare combination of earth silence and subtle magnetism. Its geological stability offers a strategic advantage. Healers, artists, and earth guardians have been drawn here as if by an invisible compass. Protection over Santa Fe is now linked to food security and community resilience as supply chains elsewhere begin to falter. The strength of bioregional systems and conscious land management will play a decisive role. If you are already in this field, pay attention to practical instructions disguised as inspiration. The fifth protected region is the area around Crestone, Colorado, including high-altitude sanctuaries of water and stability. This area offers constancy for those called to silent service and patient construction. Protection here manifests as water balance, localized social cohesion, and gradual adaptation. In a country where large cities face crises of supply and emotional disturbance, these mountain corridors serve as lungs where life can reorganize. Spirituality here is embodied. It is for those who can pray and maintain vital infrastructure on the same day. People who understand that faith and competence are partners will be extremely valuable. Protection here is for the long breath, providing a ground for those searching for stability. The sixth protected zone is Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and the surrounding Ozark Plateau. Linked to deep underground passages and crystalline memories, it serves as a bridge for the redemption of human power lines. Protection here concerns the reorganization of the human scientific and technological field, reuniting it with spirituality. The Ozarks are also shielded against the current electromagnetic chaos of 2026. This area is vital for integrating indigenous wisdom as the veil thins, requiring deep respect from those who enter. Communities accustomed to simplicity and proximity to the earth hold an advantage here. This region functions as a womb for reconciling ancestral knowledge with the stellar lineages now returning. The seventh city is Ithaca, New York, and the Finger Lakes Corridor. Ithaca bridges small-town simplicity with a new consciousness. It reaches the heart of practical America, the farm and the family. Protection here relates to food production and welcoming those displaced from collapsed centers. There, spirituality will be measured more by character and service than by vocabulary. The new cycle requires both the mystic and the mechanic. We are now in the most intense timeline, stretching through 2027. This period concentrates visible social disturbances and structural shocks. Those positioned in these aligned regions during this first half of 2026 hold a significant advantage, as waiting longer will make movement difficult as travel and reorganization become restricted. The reason these regions are protected is to build what comes after. Each zone sustains a frequency essential for the post-2027 society, from galactic collaboration in Sedona to regenerative agriculture in Santa Fe. You are being positioned to offer your gifts. The old shell is crumbling now so that the new gifts can finally be given. The greatest protection remains your inner alignment with love and truth. The protected cities simply amplify this internal shield. Whether you move or serve where you are, align with the mission so the universe can sustain you. This is the physics of consciousness creating your reality. You have received the locations. The time for action is here. Go now and fulfill that for which you came. Be the light the world needs.